Amtrak trains that's waiting. Let me show you. That's waiting to be, traveled on to whatever cities or wherever they're going. It's cold. As always, still winter time. Still coming up in a couple of weeks. That it's going to be spring. I had to think about it because it's so cold. But it's coming up in a couple of weeks to where it's going to be spring now, and we are waiting for this snow to melt. When is this snow going to melt? It's like you want it to melt so bad, but that's going to take time. But however, it's going to melt. So I'm just here to say that I'm glad that I can share these moments with you all. Because a moment ago, I was crying. And, I was crying.
He needs some milk.
I'm very emotional, I can honestly say. But I'm working on it. And I'm working on it to the point to where it's like, to develop tougher skin. I remember I was talking to my therapist, and I was telling my therapist how sometimes that I wish that I was the type of mother, like the typical mother that was very stern and a typical mother that, had the capability of just, telling their children, no.
Hey, listen.
I do have my times when my children were younger. I did have my times when I did tell my children no. Of course. They can't always get what they want. And they have to learn that they can't always get what they want. Yes, I did. I was there, but I am a docile type of mother. To where I have a strong sense of empathy in me.
7:33.
And the empathy that I have in me
next to arrive on
is not
track 4.
my make. My make is like nice, and I'm the nice parent. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. I'm at the train station, so. Yeah, excuse me. The trains are going. They're at SEPTA 30th Street Station. Today is February the 12th, 2026. And just like I was saying, I am the type of mother that is like a docile type of mother. I don't know if I'm
last stop for the train arriving on track number 3. Last stop for the train arriving on track number 3. No passengers, please. No passengers, please, for the train on track 3.
But however,
still boarding on track 4.
I am, trying my best to embrace that side of me. And that side of me is the side that I am trying to make light of it, just to try to make it make sense in my life. I don't know if I'm explaining that right. I guess if you watch my videos, you can get a gist of my personality and how my personality is. But I do have another side of me, which is that side that I suppressed years ago. And that side that I suppressed years ago is the side that I just more so just don't, train's coming. Believe it. That side that I suppress is that angry side. And that angry side is basically from all of the traumatic things that I have been through in my life. And those traumatic events caused me, like in my younger years, caused me to be real violent and didn't have a sense of care. And I'm talking to you all today, basically saying that, because my channel, my videos, I talk about life experiences and I talk about the things that I've been through and, how you can get through it. Everybody can choose to go down a path to where, it's beneficial for them, or they can choose to go down a path to where it's going to be in their self-destruction. And I remember I had a former friend said to me when I was going through all of the traumatic stuff that I was going through in my life, she had sent me a letter in the mail. It was like a card. I think it was for my birthday or something like that. And I remember her saying, happy birthday, yada, 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 whatever. And then that's when she had said in the message, she wrote in the message that, I care about you and your kids. I love y'all. But I don't want to be a part of your self-destruction. So when I saw that, of course, the old me was just like, wow, she don't want to be my friend anymore because I'm going through so much. She checked out. But eventually, as I went through therapy and I grew older and I realized that, hey, that's, that was healthy of her to do that. That was good for her to do that. And I encourage anyone to do that, especially if you are dealing with someone in a relationship or a friendship, whatever it may be, with someone who is not willing to get the help that they need, then yeah, by all means, yes, do not be a part of their self-destruction. Just tell them that you can love them from a distance, right? I was in a Lyft ride. I had to use this for story time because everything is a learning lesson. Just when you think, I can honestly say that even though I have been through all of the stuff that I've been through, and I can just honestly say that most of it I am healed from it. Most of it. And the reason why I say most of it, because there is always still room to grow. There is always still room to heal. There is always still room to evolve. So it was a question that they asked me. And I remember they asked me, I'm just looking for my train. I remember they asked me if we were talking about relationships. And he was asking me a question. He asked me a question if I think that I did anything wrong in that relationship. And you want to know what my answer was? My answer was nothing. Nothing. And that was my fight or flight mode. Because, I don't know this guy. I'm never going to see this guy again. And which was wrong, because I did do a lot in that relationship. It wasn't just a one-sided thing. It wasn't just something that, the relationship fell because it was all me. I did things wrong. It was both. And then I really thought about it, and he said that's what all women say. All women always say that. And majority of it, not all women. You get some women that take accountability. I am a firm believer to take accountability of the things that I did. So first off, mind you, when I got into his Lyft ride, the Lyft ride was awkward because he didn't hear what I said and I didn't hear what he said because his music was on. So I got in there and instantly my anxiety kicked in and I felt like, oh man, I messed up. I did something wrong, because I always do that. I always think like I'm always messing up because I do not want to revert into like any old patterns or any anger or anything. So my anxiety kicks in. So the moral of the story is, never always think that when you get that moment of peace, of serenity, of tranquility, of feeling that euphoria and thinking that everything is straight and everything is right. Always, always, always remember that there is room to grow. There is room to heal. There is still more room to just get it right. And, I just wanted to just say that today because, as I started off this message, I just said I was crying before that. And not just because my feelings was hurt or anything like that. It's because I realized that I still have room to grow. And I still have healing to go through. And I still have things that I need to, get to. So I just wanted to just tell y'all that today. And yes, so be sure to like, subscribe, and share. And all right, until next time.